Guten Tag, mein viewers. Yeah, how's it going, everybody? Dakota here, yet again, with a review that is of a project that I missed whilst on my mission, and I have since come to love. And yes, by the way, we're not going to address what's going on back here. This happened. This is my apartment, and this definitely happened. You can see how in another video on my channel where I surprised my fiance with this. That was fun. But it's time to review the latest project from William Michael Morgan, his self-titled EP. You guys know how I feel about Neo Nashville, and I promise after this video I will never say it again. You know, that new Nashville country just doesn't set right with me, man. It's a whole other animal. It's very squeaky clean. It's very sanitary. It's all factory. It's assembly line. It's not sincere. While there's incredible songwriting going on, yes, there's great production being done. You know, this kind of sound and production is just not what I want to hear in my country music. Granted, there are some exceptions to the rule. There are some artists who every now and then have a song that I begrudgingly enjoy. But every now and then, when it seems that the dynamic is shifting to a more poppy, accessible sound, there comes an artist that takes a musical lasso and throws it around the country audience and tries to pull them in and remind them, hey, let's not forget where we came from, let's not forget the sounds, let's not forget the pioneers, and let's try to get back to a more truly country sounding thing. And William Michael Morgan, along with Mo Pitney, and we'll talk about Mo Pitney later this year when his album comes out, but William Michael Morgan is one of those artists right now. He's kind of the artist right now, and I don't think since Easton Corbin have we had an artist that has done this. William is a very young guy. I believe he's 21 or 22. He's younger than me. And to hear this voice come out of this young man, this baritone, old school, sitting on the porch with my dog kind of country voice. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about, and that's when you start the note really deep in the back of your throat and then kind of wind up into it like, still not used to you being gone. You know, like that kind of stuff, which that sounds rough because I just woke up. Promise. But yeah, man, William has this voice at such a young age. Now, it's a nice baritone voice, and he is young, so those really deep notes are kind of a struggle for him to get to sometimes, but he still pulls it off better than, let's say a Scotty McCreery or a Hunter Hayes would. Not that there's anything too terribly wrong with Hunter Hayes, I actually like him. But yeah, and William's really cool in the fact that I hear a lot of different influences in this young man. I can kind of tell possibly what he has listened to, and I hear influences, but at the same time, I don't hear him blatantly ripping anybody's style. He reminds me of a modern day, younger Randy Travis. I hear a little bit of Keith Whitley in there. I hear some Tracy Byrd in there. But at the same time, he brings it all together, along with, these great songwriters that he's used, and just slightly modernized music to where it's not overly pop. It's just got a little touch of something that could appeal to a neo country fan, and he brings it together all on this EP. And to me, every EP should be of this quality. We're getting 6 tracks. There's not really a bad song. You've got a couple songs that are singles. You've got that one slow ballad that surprises you on how good it is with songwriting and instrumentation. This EP is just very well put together. It kicks off with the song Vinyl, which is just a nice, beautiful metaphor of a girl being compared to vinyl, a vinyl record. saying they don't make them like you anymore. We should dance round and round, let the needle drop, and let's just play all night. You know, I would hang your cover on the wall like vinyl. And that is a very well written song, and it's a great song to start the EP off. Now, initially, you know, I thought, well, this is kind of an interesting song. This sounds more like a second or third track, but the way that William's voice sounds on this, he's a little bit more subtle and smoother on this track than he is on the other ones. Like, he's kind of trying to like set a mood with a girl on this album, and I think that's a good attention-grabbing opener. Now, the ballad I was talking about is called Lonesomeville, and this song is dang good, and this is the song that got me hooked on WWM. You know, the song opens up with just these singing fiddles. I mean, these fiddles are just crying. This is some down south, you know, broken-hearted music right here. This sounds very mid-90s George Strait. On this song, William kind of has a Joe Nichols vibe to his voice, you know, like old Joe Nichols stuff, you know, from around the turn of the century. But the fiddles on it sound good. There's some good steel guitars that come in later, and when it reaches the chorus, William sounds hurt. He just sounds hurt, like he really is living in Lonesomeville. You know, the line saying it's a small community, population me, here in Lonesomeville. It's just, not that he's literally in a town called Lonesomeville, but, you know, when your woman has left you, you feel like the only one on earth, and that's what William Michael Morgan is saying. You know, I'm just here in the middle of a valley somewhere. And, oh, it's nice. It's good, and it makes me feel like I've been broken up with almost. It's so good. The second track, Beer Drinker, while it does have some nice twangy guitars that sound very good, I can't really relate to the message that's being talked about here because, you know, I don't drink beer. But it's nice in William's case to talk about drinking beer, but instead of like a braggadocious turn-up party kind of way that a lot of country artists are doing nowadays, where it seems like all, you know, people from the South do is sit around and drink. He talks about it more as in the working class sense. One of the most interesting moments on this album, and something that is very surprising, is what William does with Sam Hunt's song, I Met a Girl. William's version of this song is getting a lot of airplay right now, and understandably so. I mean, he just nails this, hits it out of the park with organic instrumentation actually being used instead of drum programming, with him singing everything, and even changing the key of the song instead of Sam Hunt, who just does that talking, I met a girl, she crossed the street. No, William Michael Morgan says, by golly, I'm going to sing this, and it's going to sound good. Not that he sounds like that. But it does, man. This song has so much more meaning with him doing it. This sounds like his song. It really does. You know, I'm glad that this is the one that's being played on the radio, because I don't think Sam Hunt has a right to do this song anymore. Now that William Michael Morgan has come in and said, hey, can I use this song? Okay, and just smashed your version into pieces. You don't need to do it anymore, Sam. Sorry. You need to hunt for a new song. And I'll admit, I don't think the song would be quite what it is without Sam Hunt's writing it. One of my favorite lines, even, she could catch the eye of a hurricane. That's a good line. That's just a good line. The other really good highlight on this EP for me is the song Cheap Cologne. And in this song, I hear a very strong John Williams influence coming through on this, with those early 80s, late 70s keyboards, that bass line that's a little bit being somewhat of the alpha in the music and really sticking out. And this is just a nice, good, sexy song. And kind of putting two and two together, you know, figuring out that his woman is cheating because he's like, well, you know, she don't smoke cigarettes and I don't wear cheap cologne, so where is this smell coming from? Hello? Whore! Excuse me. This is a fantastic project. William Michael Morgan is an amazing artist, and he is cut from a different cloth than his contemporaries right now. You know, this young man has, you know, performed at the Opry and has done incredibly well there, you know, and even when he went to the Opry, I mean, he dressed like one of the old heads, man. I mean, he had the the suit jacket on with the big old Clint Black hat, and he had the the longer mullet kind of hair and blue jeans, the buckle and the boots. Like, he looked like a country singer. This guy has the potential, if we allow him and we support him, to be the next great. This EP is turning into a full-length album, which is being worked on right now, and should come out at the end of this year or the beginning of next year, from what I understand. So I'm very excited about that. I will be reviewing that. But overall, for me, this EP does get a B+. It is dang good. If you enjoy country music, especially country from about, I would say, 1995 to about 2004 in there, you're going to love this. You're going to absolutely love it. Go support. And let's